Hi again. Welcome back to the fourth part of the modelling terrain using AutoCAD and 3D Studio Max. So we'd left it off, we'd kind of completed a bit of roadway here, but it's still a bit sparse as far as kind of topography goes. We've only got these two contours that we can work with. It would be better if we had additional contours. So let's kind of just show you how we'll generate those contours. So I'll just switch all the 2D layers back on. Okay, and then I'm going to have a look from the top down. Okay, if I use the ID command to pick out a position on this spine line, okay, it's telling me that the level there is 9.0133 meters above sea level. Okay, so that's going for all the way around this shape. Okay, because we picked a point kind of roughly in the middle. So if this was our site and we were needing additional information, additional contours, then we've got to kind of do this ourselves, and we call this interpolation. Okay, so I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to call it 3D interpolated contours. Okay, I'll make them a fairly bright colour so we can see them pretty clearly on the video. A lot of colours have been used already now, so I think I'll go for a fairly bright green. Not got much green. So let's go for even lighter green. Okay, I'll make that a current layer. And I'll close that. Okay, so I need to make sure I'm starting from a high point. So I'm just going to flip things over and mark the entrance to the site with a couple of circles, so I know where we're coming in. Okay, go back to the plan. Okay, so let's say we wanted to generate a slope. We would need maybe a bit of level ground here at the back of the pavement here. Otherwise, it's likely for your pavement to kind of collapse and crumble. So if we came out from that line, say 3 or 4 meters. So I'll start with a polyline from the center of that circle, and let's say we go in this direction, say 3 meters. We're working in meters. Okay, so we're at the same level as we are at the road coming out to this point here. Okay, and then we need a line down to the known level down at the bottom here. Okay, so if I look at that in 3D, you can see there's my kind of slope line. Okay, say I wanted to create contours that were at meter intervals. Okay, if I just divided that line, then the contours are going to be slightly different at each position. If I just demonstrate that, if I divide that line by 4, because we're roughly 9 meters here, 5 here, so if we divide it by 4, okay, let's see, I'm using PD mode 66 so that I can see the points. Okay, so if I ask it what the level is at that point, it's not going to be exactly 6. Okay, so 6.0033. Okay, similarly here, it's not exactly 7. Okay, so if I want actually at 5 meters, and at 6 meters and at 7 meters, if I join this end of the line to this end but with a polyline and then divide it by 4, so I'll divide by 4, okay, so that's my quarter points. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, and let's say we do that again with this one. So we'll copy that line and use it here. Okay, so it's at the same level. Okay, let's say this line is going to come down to this corner instead. Okay, so we'll take it to. Actually, let's do this from above, so we can. Okay, so this is roughly following the shape of the site. So I'm going to take a line from that end point, and my known level is 5 meters here. Okay, so then I'll trace back on that line with a polyline. Okay, and divide that by 4. Okay, notice these are at different sizes. Okay, if I regen, they all go to the same size. It's because they're a ratio of the screen. Okay, if you use PD size and return, you can make them a fixed size. So let's say we want 1 meter radius. Okay, so nice big points. Okay, so what we'll do is keep kind of adding lines. So at a point down here, we get to probably about 8 meters. So let's just identify that point. So there we go, we're just about 8 meters. Okay, we've got a building to deal with here, which is likely to be kind of level, and then maybe a garden behind it. So let's have a look. Let's identify that point with a circle. Okay, and get in a bit closer. And we've got buildings here. So let's do a level line, so a polyline to say about here. Okay, and then it'll be a normal line from there down to the contour. Oops, must have done a polyline there, excuse me. So a normal line from there to the contour. Let's have a look at that, that's better, sloping now. Okay, so from this point it goes from roughly 8 meters to 5. Trace back on this, but divide this one by 3 instead. So divide by 3. Okay, so we're going to be 6 meter contour, 7 meter contour, and 8 meter contour. So let's put a point on the end of that, and points on the end of these. Okay, we could move these up by their heights. That's one way of doing it. So we just need to join the dots. Probably the quickest actually. So if we move the 8 meter points upwards, or we polyline them and then move the polyline. Actually, that's probably quicker. Polyline from, we want node points, so let's turn off nearest and put node on. Okay, so it's a polyline from node to node to node. Okay, and then we can move these, maybe take the points as well. Okay, these are going to go up 8 meters. This one's going to go up 7 meters, and this one's going to go up. My mistake. Put them back. Okay, so this is starting at 5 meters already. Okay, so these only have to go up 1 meter to get to 6 meters. Okay, so these are going up 1 meter. These are going up 2 meters. This one's going up 3 meters. So ortho on, look for plus Z at your cursor, and this one's going up 4 meters. Okay, so these lines probably not going to add anything. So we'll clear these away, so we're just left with the contours. Okay, so do you see how that's worked? We've kind of got even slopes in all these positions. Now, without any better survey information, there's not much you can do apart from interpolate in this manner. So you would try and do that all the way along. Okay, so I've done that. I've got that in a second file. So I'll open that and show you the finished information there. So here's the interpolated contours running all the way around. Gives us much more information to work with. Okay, and here's the ribs and the spines that we've created for the roads, ready for surfacing. Okay, so these contours, as well as the original ones could be taken to 3D Studio. Okay, so let's just do that with this. It's slightly different layouts here, so we better stick with our one. So what I'll do is I'll copy these across to the file we're working on. Okay, so we're going to copy them. Okay, I'll Shift Control C. I'll use the corner of that building as the base point. Another one there. Okay. I think I've done an adjustment on that one as well, actually. So Shift Control C, use the corner of this. Okay. Take the contours and I'll drop them into our file. So we'll clear these away just now because we're bringing in a batch of new ones. V, put those there. Okay, I'm going to trim off the ends of these ones. I'll explode it. Trim off the ends of these. And similarly down here. Okay, I'm using. Just trim these down a wee bit. Okay, so we could export a slightly improved set of contours. So we'll let 3D Studio do all the triangulation for us. So we'll switch off. I'll make the new contours my current layer, and we can switch everything else off. Let's get rid of that circle and bring back on the original contours as well. Okay, so what we need to do is just tidy up the edges here. Okay, so I'll join that one over here and just some additional lines across there. I'm going to delete that original 5 meter and here. Okay, so we just need to join these a bit more carefully. Okay, so I've got a little bit better information. So I'm going to match this to all those. Okay, then we'll send these out as our contours. We'll save over the export again. Replace that. Go to 3D Studio. Okay, so that's our terrain number 1 we've got there. Okay, terrain number 1, and we'll import the export using the same settings. Okay, so we've got another set of contours that we can create a terrain from. So we create an object, a compound object, a terrain. Okay, and previously we used half of the points, which is done by default there. Okay, let's take terrain number 1 and we'll hide that. Okay, and what we'll do this time is send this back to AutoCAD. Okay, so we've let the software do the triangulation for us. So it's picked up on all the new contours. Okay. So we've got a bit more definition in this area. Okay. And we'll send that back to AutoCAD now. So it's File, Export Selected. Okay, I'll just let it go to my desktop just now. And I'm going to call it Terrain from Max. save. I need to choose the file type. Okay, file, export selected. Choose your file type, should be a DWG. Okay, terrain from Max. And save. Okay. Back to AutoCAD. So it's into this file. Okay, we'll import that now. So it's the normal insert. Insert, insert, more options, browse to my desktop. Okay, terrain from Max. Okay, this insertion point should be the same, but the scale, okay, you can see we might have an issue here. I'm going to make the scale 1,000th, 0.001. Okay, see how it ends up. Is it there at 00? I don't see it. Perhaps the layer's turned off. Let's just switch the layers on. Right, there it is. It's arrived on layer 0, which happened to be switched off at the time. Okay, so we've got a surface now that we can start editing to our roads. Okay, I'm just going to move it to the side so I can get control of it. I'm just going to move it by, looks like 250 meters, would be a nice round number there. Okay, explode it. Okay, we can do any corrections we need to do here as well. So I'll make this my current layer, so it's layer 0, and let's put a 3D face along here, just now. And it's these triangles that we need to start editing, because this is the improved slope using our interpolated contours, but the road area is still problematic, it's still too crude. Okay, so we'll put it back in place, 250 meters back the way, should all be sitting in the correct place. Okay, and then I'm going to shade it so you can see what we're looking at. So you can see our road is kind of poking in through there. So the triangulation here isn't accurate enough. You could try and change the positions of points. Okay, they can be dragged and moved around, but you're probably quicker to kind of lose the problem triangles and reinstate with more accurate ones. So if I just take some away here, we'll reveal our site. Okay, now you can be, if you're brave enough, you can work in a shaded mode. So layer 0 is the current one here, that's okay. So I can add 3D faces, and we're basically reinstating patches to tidy stuff up here. Okay, when you get something like this, you really want to go across the corner, because it would generally be the same level of ground there, but then we'd slope back up to the realistic, the contour level. Okay, have a look at that, and you see you're starting to kind of fix in quite nicely. Okay, so let's do some more here. And you try and keep the triangles to a minimum. Okay, but you are best to kind of go with triangles if you can, because you just get a more even surface. Okay, you can control then how the slope is behaving. Okay, over here you see we've got steeper ground, so I'll just do a little bit more just to demonstrate it, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so here I would kind of do maybe triangulate across the corner first, and then pick up with bigger triangles. Regularly turning it around so you can see the shape. So So it's not difficult, you just have to be systematic. Okay, and on this side of the road, the same job to do. I've not got so many points to pick here, I've got a pretty big area there. So it ties it in much better to what's happening with the shape of the land. Okay, hope you get the idea from that. So I'll open a file that's already had all that work done to it. So there is, you know, a good deal of work. Okay. So I'll shade this with edges so you can see how we've managed to kind of tie everything in together. Got a much steeper road up here. You can tell the shape of the land. You can see from the way the shading works how the land is getting steeper or shallower in places. So we've got an area here where there's buildings, so there'll generally be a flat area, and then the garden at the rear of those properties sloping down to meet surveyed land heights. Okay, so you know, it's don't misunderestimate the amount of work this is, but once you start going, it really is fairly methodical. You can see here I've missed out a face there by accident. Okay, so we'll stop this video just now, and then we'll move on to something that's related to add a bit more detail to the site. So I'll stop it there.